Welcome to Joy for the Journey, the podcast where we explore the winding paths of purpose, faith, and joy. I'm your host, Joy, and I'm thrilled to embark on this transformative journey with you. Are you a woman seeking more than just existence and a soul yearning for fulfillment, purpose, and unwavering joy? Well, you're not alone. In this sacred space, we'll navigate the highs and lows, the doubts and triumphs, and the divine whispers guiding us toward our true calling. Through candid conversations, inspiring stories, and practical insights, Joy for the Journey is your compass, your confidant, and your catalyst for embracing the abundant life God intends for you. So if you're ready to reclaim your joy, renew your hope, and rediscover the woman God created you to be, join me on this adventure. Let's walk together step by step towards a life filled with purpose, passion, and unbridled joy. This is Joy for the Journey. Welcome aboard. Hey, it's Joy Jackson of Speaking of Joye, and welcome to Joy for the Journey. I am so excited that you are here taking this purpose journey with me, and I'll tell you what's going on. Tried to record this yesterday, so we're going to do a take 2, and this is all about values. Everything that I do with any client that I work with, we start with values. And I'm not just talking about what you like and what you love. I'm talking about the essence of who you are. There is no workshop I do. There is no coaching session that I do, whether it's professional or personal, that we don't talk values. And so what I want to do in this episode is shed a little light about values with you and then challenge you to start really crafting and identifying your values. Because when you're really trying to walk in purpose and walk this purpose journey, really doing as much self-discovery as you can is a benefit to the path that you're on. It's a benefit to where you're headed. It's a benefit to where you don't want to go, because we don't want a whole lot of detours along this path, even though we know they are natural and they may come. We don't want those if we can avoid them. And then some of us are at a crossroad right now where we need to determine if we're going to go left or right. So I hope that this values episode will clear out some cobwebs, help you focus, identify, and to measure where you are, who you are, and who you want to be or where you're going. So when I talk about values, I want to first give you a definition that I believe will help answer a lot of questions about why I think values are so important. So values, as I define them, are the foundation of our beliefs, our behaviors, and our decision-making processes. They're going to be like the intrinsic motivators that drive you towards your goals and shape how you interact with the world and how you interact with others. They even help you in how you perceive your purpose. So the truth is, when we understand and honor our values, we can live more authentically and be in alignment with who we really are and who God really made us to be. It's like finding a compass. It's like finding out which direction you need to go, which direction you need to turn. If you're all jumbled up, that's really what these values will do for you. And they help you navigate life with confidence and clarity. And the reason that's so important is because I meet so many women who lack clarity. Now, doesn't mean you don't know who you are. Doesn't mean you don't know the goals you have set for you. Doesn't mean you don't know kind of the direction you're heading. But I'm talking about clarity that's deeper than that. Clarity that answers the questions why. The clarity that answers the questions how. Questions like, why am I on this job and I don't enjoy it? Why am I in this relationship when I don't want to be there? Why did I make that decision when I probably could have made a better decision? Why is this even happening to me? And even better, why am I here? Those are questions that come up quite a bit when I'm coaching women, because most of the women, especially if you're a woman listening to this, you're in this season, or you may be this woman who says, you know what, there's so much more to my life than what I'm doing right now. I'm so much more than what people see. I am sick and tired of doing the same thing over and over and over and getting the same result. I want to do something different, more exciting and new, but I don't know where to start. I'm just tired. And if you're one of those women, then that's why I implore you to identify your values, because I want every step you take to move you closer to the life that you desire and to the life that God promised you. And when we walk in purpose and we identify our values, that's how we get there. Yes, values are that important. And I don't believe that we spend enough time with ourselves to really know ourselves. I believe that we allow the labels and the assignments that we've been given move us and make us believe that's who we are. So I'm an only child. So I've been told I'm spoiled. I'm an extrovert to some people. So I've been told I command a room, or I'm loud, or I'm humorous, or I'm funny. I've been told that I'm a good speaker. So that means I love talking to people and networking. When if you really know me, you'll know that I'm none of those things. In reality, I'm an only child, but I was raised with 2 brothers and 2 sisters. So I'm a giver. Even though I am an extrovert by the way you see me, I'm really an introvert because introversion and extroversion is about how you recharge, not about what the world sees. And when I recharge by myself. I'm an only child, so I'm a loner. So yes, I recharge by myself. And although I love talking to people and I love the work that I do, I'm not one of those people that walks into a room and starts talking to everybody in the room. So you see how easy it is for people to place labels and values on you, and you're not even that type of person. But what do you do when those labels are placed on you, but you can't really communicate who you really are? And I truly believe that many of us are right there. We know what people have said. You're a wife, you're a mother, you're an employee, you're an employer, you're an entrepreneur, you're a daughter, you're a sister, you're a best friend, you're whatever those things are. But then when people ask you who you really are, you don't have any other answers. Because you've been so used to carrying those labels and those titles and valuing those things that you've never really taken time to identify who you are and what you truly believe. So this episode is designed to help you uncover your values. So here's a quote that I want to share with you because I think that this is probably the best depiction of what values really are. So this quote says, "Values are like lighthouses. They are signals giving us direction, meaning, and purpose." Look at that. Values are like lighthouses. If you think about a lighthouse, just imagine a lighthouse, right? You see a lighthouse, it's tall, it's erect, and it's got this big shiny light on it that no matter where you are, even in the clouds, even in the rain, you can see that light. That's what values are. No matter what season of life you're in, no matter what experiences you're facing, no matter what challenges, victories, or triumphs you have, your values always shine bright. And for those of you that are listening to this, let me encourage you right now, if you have not already understood, you are a bright light. Yeah, I know there's some things happening in your life that make you not feel that way. But before we go any further and talk about values, I need you to understand your value. You are worth it. You are beautiful. You are deserving. You are an overcomer. You are a star. You are the star of your show. You are good at what you do. So give yourself a round of applause because you are a shining light. And how do I know you're a shining light? It's because you have the love of God inside of you radiating through you. And if Jesus is the way, the truth, and the light, then that means you got to be light too. So embrace the fact that you are beautiful and dynamic. You are all of those beautiful things that God has called you. You are favored. You are blessed. You are better than that. Whatever that is that you keep rehearsing in your head, you're better than that. Whatever that is that you keep speaking out, you're better than that. You deserve better than that. Okay, I just got to get that off my chest because I believe that it's time for us to take our rightful place. But it's hard to do when we don't understand our values. And I'm not talking about what you value. I'm talking about who you are. Because what you value may change, but who you are may grow and develop. But at your core, you are who you are. I tell all of my clients when we start doing values work, I'm like, listen, do not put your value in people because people are funny. You know what typically happens? Children grow up, husbands start tripping, jobs lay off. Money runs out. So if you put your value in those things, you will forever be disappointed. So the first person, if you're going to input your value in any place, you need to put it in God. It says, put your hope in things above, not on things below, because that is going to change. That's going to be different. So I want you to know that if you want to feel like you got a place of value in God and place of value in yourself. But let's talk about this lighthouse because I did some research on lighthouses and I'm going to take a lighthouse and compare it to values so that you see how important values are. So a lighthouse has a lot of functions, but its major functions are ensuring safety and efficiency during the navigation of the boats. So that's really the purpose of a lighthouse. So let's look at each function that a lighthouse performs. The first one is navigation aid. See, lighthouses provide a navigational landmark that helps the mariners determine their position at sea. So by marking specific geographical locations, they assist sailors in charting a safe course along coastlines and through hazardous areas. Joy, what does that mean? Because that sounds real good. What it means is that the lighthouse is a landmark. So if you see the lighthouse and you're at sea, you know where you are. You know what's to the left and to the right of that area because of where they've put the lighthouse. So it allows you to identify the parts around you, the areas around you, and it helps you in identifying a course because they're typically going to be around water. So you know the coastlines, you know what's hazardous because they've put a lighthouse in a place that you can see it. Same thing with your values. Your values are the landmark. They help you determine everything else in your life. Your values are going to tell you where to go, what to do, how to do it, who to do it with, what decisions to make, and even tell you when something's off. Whether you realize it or not, the Holy Spirit lives in you. But there are values that you have in your heart that tell you when something's off. I'm going to tell you all my business in this one. So one of the values that I have is loyalty. I cannot tolerate disloyal people. And by loyalty, I don't mean necessarily that you got to ride or die with me, although I got some folks I expect that from. What I really mean by loyalty is that you're going to hold up your end of the bargain, that you're going to be who you say you are, that you're going to operate in the space that you said you would, that you're going to follow through on the things that you said. That's loyalty to me. Oh, let me say this before we go any further. I'm giving you permission to define values however you decide. So the words that you use to describe your values don't have to make sense to anyone but you. So you don't have to go to the dictionary. You can to get a framework. But when we're talking values, they are personal. So you get to define them the way you want. So that's why my loyalty definition may seem a little different than the actual definition of loyalty. But that's what I mean. And so when I get into relationship with people, whether it's a professional relationship, whether it's a personal relationship, immediately my antenna goes off and my light starts to flash when there's a violation. Like there's a hazardous area. This person can't be trusted. This person can't be believed. Immediately I start to see that. Can I challenge you that many of us have had that light go off, but we ignore it. We think we can change them. We think, oh, they made a mistake, but they value me enough to change and to be who they say they were or to do what I asked them to do. I say, yes, you can try, but at some point you got to know. You got to know when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em, know when to walk away, and you got to know when to run. So when you're using your values as a navigation, it's going to tell you where to go and who to go with. It's going to tell you who to even protect yourself from. So don't overlook that navigation. The second thing that a lighthouse does, it's a warning signal. Lighthouses are often situated near dangerous coastlines. They're near reefs, shoals, or other hazardous navigation. The light emits from the lighthouse warning ships of the dangers, helping them prevent accidents. Listen, I'm reading this as I go. I just said that. When you are really, truly tuned into your values, they're going to let you know when something's off. Your values are designed to protect you because your values are who you are. And I don't know anyone who would be willing to harm themselves. So just as a lighthouse, your values are going to be things that are very important to you, that hold dear to you, that are going to let you know when something's not right. Here's the way I tell most people to identify their values. Think about the thing that makes you the angriest. Whatever that is, what really makes you angry, makes your blood boil? And then ask yourself why that bothers you. And then keep asking yourself why until you realize the essence of what it is. So I told you before that I don't like liars. And I ask why, and I'm like, well, because I don't feel like you have to lie to me. But why is that even an issue? Because I believe that everybody has the right to be and say what they want to say. And I'm not here to judge you. So why is that important? What does that mean? So at the end of it all, I'm going to extend grace. At the end of it all, I value authenticity. And those happen to be two of my values. So when you really want to know what your warning signal is, think about that thing that just makes you want to just, and then start to backpedal as to why that's important. And you can find your values there. I like this one. Lighthouses are also traffic management. So in busy waterways, lighthouses help to regulate marine traffic, ensuring that vessels travel safely and efficiently through the designated channels. Your values will tell you when you're doing too much. Your values will tell you when you're not doing enough. Your values will tell you when it's too much clutter in your life. If you value peace and you can't find it, it's because you got too much clutter. If you value joy, but you can't seem to find your joy, it's because you've allowed some things into your life and into your heart that are robbing you of that. If you value security and you don't feel secure or safe, it's because you're in a situation or around people or things that have taken that away from you. So your values manage the traffic. Your values are going to help you regulate your life. If your life is out of balance, check your values. I'm so tired of the work-life balance conversation. I have a workshop that I do called Balance is BS. Not that BS, but I think that too. But I say that balance is about behavioral strategies. It's about burnout support. And it's about your belief system. You see what I did with the BS is there? That's what balance is all about. And you can't have work-life balance because you're not a work-life person. You're one person. So if you're one person living out the experiences in your life, the same thing happens with the areas of your life. So you can't have work-life balance. You just got to have balance. So values help you balance. Values help you identify what the balance is or is not and how to get it back on track. One of my values is faith, period. When I am out of balance, it's because I am struggling in my faith. And I'm not talking faith in the sense of belief that God is who he is. I'm talking faith in the practice of trusting God, the practice of walking with God, the practice of believing God. That's what I mean by faith. So when I am out of balance, it's because I'm out of faith. So if I want to get back in balance, I got to get back into the word. If I want to get back in balance, I got to get back into my prayer time. If I want to get back in balance, I've got to spend more time with God. So whatever you're trying to manage, go back to your values to manage it. And then the lighthouse is a marker of safe entry. Many lighthouses will actually mark the entrances to the harbor and ports, guiding ships safely into these entry points from the sea. I like that one because your values are where your safety lies. Your values are where you determine who and what enters your life. I know that sounds deep, but if you really think about your values and you really understand how important they are, you will protect them at all costs. How do I know? Because remember I've said that I don't believe values are things. But let's just say for this example, I value, which I do, but for this example, I value my kids. I love Shelby and Sydney with everything in me. And excuse my language, but I ain't gonna let, y'all thought I was gonna say something else. I ain't gonna let nobody bother my children. In fact, one of my children is very aware of everything. And so she comes home and these kids at this school have said some of the craziest things. And she comes home asking all these questions and she's concerned. Literally last night, she woke up and was asking me a question about skinwalkers. And I'm like, girl, who told you that? She tells me the little boy's name. And I said, stop listening to him because he's 10 and he doesn't know anything. But I want you to stop listening to him because he keeps riling you up. In fact, do I need to go down there and tell this little boy to stop talking to you? And she was like, no, mommy. So I'm saying that to say I'm going to protect my children at all costs. And if I'm willing to protect my children at all costs, I got to be willing to protect myself. So my values show me what's safe. When I feel unsafe, something's off with my values. When I feel unsafe, I need to check in with my values because it's giving me access and showing me who and what decisions, what opportunities, what experiences, what exposure I need to let into my life. Yes, that's values. And I know you like, girl, really? So I'm going to give you some examples of values that I want you to just pray about and think about and allow to sink in and resonate with you. And I'm going to tell you right now, as I read these, and I'm going to read some definitions too, just some general definitions. If any of these resonate with you, write them down, and then I'll tell you what to do with them. Okay? So the first one is integrity, acting with honesty and honor without compromising the truth. Compassion, showing empathy and kindness to others. Courage, facing challenges and adversity with bravery. Respect, valuing others and treating them with regard and courtesy. Responsibility, being accountable for one's actions and commitments. Fairness, practicing impartiality and justice. Trustworthiness, being reliable in one's commitments and relationships. Freedom, valuing independence and autonomy in thought and actions. Generosity, willingness to give time, energy, or resources to others. Humility, having a modest view of one's importance. Wisdom, applying knowledge, experiences, and good judgment in decision making. Love, seeking deep connections and prioritizing relationships. Self-discipline, managing impulses and emotions to achieve long-term goals. Loyalty, being faithful to one's commitments and obligations. Gratitude, appreciating what one has, both materially and in relationships. Perseverance, persisting steadfastly despite difficulty or delay in achieving success. Creativity, valuing original ideas and finding innovative solutions. Optimism, maintaining a hopeful outlook even in face of challenges. Peace, striving for inner calm and harmony. Or justice, championing fairness and advocating for equal rights. Now, that's just a few. I have had so many clients who have created their own, like activism, like advocacy, like joy, like peace, like security, like faithfulness. So these are words that you can use to describe who you are. Not what you believe, but who you are. So if you were to ask me to give you my values, they are love, grace, authenticity, loyalty, and faith. Those are mine. Now you get to create your own, and I'm going to give you a quick way that you can do it. Now, I will tell you, when I work with clients, this is a lot of the work that we do, but I want you to be able to find your values fairly quickly. So here is how you're going to do it. The first thing I want you to do is to think about some high moments in your life. I want you to think about times where you felt real fulfillment and truly alive. And I'm talking joy, achievement, contentment, whatever that word alive means to you, that's what I want you to think about. And I want you to write down a few things. What were you doing? Who were you with? And what was the circumstance that made you feel alive? Because what it will do, it will allow you to identify fulfillment. And when you are walking in your values and purpose, you find fulfillment. So that's the first one. Literally think about those moments that were highs for you. When you had an adrenaline rush, when you had goosebumps all over, when your heart was full, what were those things? Because I can tell you what mine are. My highs come when I am doing what I'm doing right now. Not necessarily this podcast, but when I am operating in my gift, when I am helping people change their lives, when I am showing them who God is, when I'm demonstrating his love. That's how I knew love was one of my values. And I never thought that before. But I realized that love is compassion. Love is patience. Love is peace. Love is forgiveness. Love is understanding. You know, love is patient, kind. It does not boast itself, all of those things. But even not just going scripturally, but just understanding love and the love of God. So that's how I knew one of my values was love. The second thing I want you to do is I want you to think about your reactions and your choices. Yep, we're going to go there. So I want you to think about when you've had very strong reactions, positive and negative, to situations in your life. This is where you were either really proud or really disappointed. This could be something that happened to you or happened because of you. So this could be any type of emotion associated with you or someone else. And I want you to write those down. And then I want you to think about the reason for that reaction. And as I said a little while ago, what was violated or what was done that made you feel that way? Because when you do these two steps, you can see patterns in feelings and behaviors, because values are the internal, but your behaviors are the external. So even as you're living your life daily in values, people may never know your values because you may not walk around with a values t-shirt on. But what they will see is who you are and what your values are based on how you show up, based on how you respond, based on your behaviors, based on what you do in response to something else. So you never have to walk around, and I tell my clients, you never have to walk around saying, this is my value, this is my value, this is my value. No, you don't have to do that. You just have to walk and live, and people are going to see your value. So I want you to take this work and I want you to apply it. I want you to try it out. Listen, I want you to try it out. You can't fail at this because it's you. You can't fail at this because it's who you are. And I'm not saying you got to do it and be like, oh my Lord, I hate my values, I got to redo them. No, this is about awareness. This is about discovery. This is about your journey. And I'm going to do something that I have not invited you to do. When you finish this podcast episode, there's going to be a link there. That link is going to be to my calendar. I want to do this exploration with you. So if you are ready to take the step, the true step of self-discovery, I want to talk to you. No hidden agenda, not trying to sell you nothing. I want to talk to you because if I can help you along your journey, that's what I want to do. That's it. So I thank you for joining this episode. I'm excited that I got it out because didn't know how it was going to go yesterday when I tried. But I encourage you to continue to explore who you are and passionately pursue purpose. I'll talk to you soon. Welcome to Joy for the Journey, the podcast where we explore the winding paths of purpose, faith, and joy. I'm your host, Joy, and I'm thrilled to embark on this transformative journey with you. Are you a woman seeking more than just existence and a soul yearning for fulfillment, purpose, and unwavering joy? Well, you're not alone. In this sacred space, we'll navigate the highs and lows, the doubts and triumphs, and the divine whispers guiding us toward our true calling. Through candid conversations, inspiring stories, and practical insights, Joy for the Journey is your compass, your confidant, and your catalyst for embracing the abundant life God intends for you. So if you're ready to reclaim your joy, renew your hope, and rediscover the woman God created you to be, join me on this adventure. Let's walk together step by step towards a life filled with purpose, passion, and unbridled joy. This is Joy for the Journey. Welcome aboard.